Hashem stands alone. In 2005, Joe Hashem put Australian poker on the map with his main event win. Tonight, the World Series of Poker comes to Hashem's home country. And it's a Canadian trying to erase recent failures with big success down under.
It's the World Series of Poker. Las Vegas isn't the world. I think it's great that we've expanded here in Australia. There's a big fan base.
Negreanu has a chance to make personal and poker history, win his 5th bracelet, and do it at the first ever Asia-Pacific main event. The opening act of the 2013 World Series of Poker begins now, starring Australia and Daniel Kid Poker Negreanu.
I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, oh, oh.
That's just Dolly Brunson, who wrote the book.
This is gonna be the best day.
He's moving in for the kill.
And there it is. Helmuth wins the championship.
Moneymaker puts his name amongst the greatest players in the game.
Wake me now.
Greg Merson is the main event champion.
Gonna be the best day of my life.
Biggest day of my life.
Asia Pacific main event.
Welcome to the 2013 World Series of Poker. For the first time ever, the season kicks off from Australia. Hi, everybody. Lon McCarran, along with Norman Chad from Crown Melbourne. No matter the end result, history will be made tonight as a main event champion is crowned down under. 405 players started, just 8 remain, including that man, Daniel Negreanu.
Daniel's come halfway around the world to try to end his 5-year bracelet slump.
Russell Thomas finished 4th at last year's Las Vegas main event.
What's this guy, a main event specialist? He's 24, and all he does is final table World Series main events.
You might not know Winfred Yu, but he's a fixture in Macau.
Yeah, he runs a poker club there. He invites you to the club so he can beat you.
The 3, same as last night.
10-20. Ah, very good, very nice. Very, very nice. Brother, very nice.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, everyone. Good luck, everyone.
Some very clear divisions at this final table. Those with chips, those without. Russell Thomas is a short stack.
Thomas still has 24 big blinds, so it's not desperation yet, but I don't need to tell him that. He was an actuary.
Kid Poker, one of those players with chips over 120 big blinds.
These deep stack tournaments really work to Daniel's advantage. He can take his time, see flops, and do Daniel Negreanu type things.
4 chips in play. The 1K green up to the blue 100,000 chip.
LA.
The blinds right now at 10 and 20,000. A 3,000 chip ante. Pocket 4s for Winfred Yu, 49.
No EPT Berlin.
No, I'm skipping it. But I got you on my team. I ran in my fantasy team from GPI, and I got your cheap.
I'm pretty cheap.
God, I got you for 10,500.
Benny Spindler has skills at the table that Daniel Negreanu respects. The short stack raises to 48,000.
I picked Phil Ivey on my fantasy team, Lon, so I could cut him if he doesn't do well.
That's Cale Burns. Queen Deuce, local player, folds to Daniel Negreanu in the small blind with pocket 8s.
Daniel always watches all 6 Rockies before the main event in Las Vegas. I wonder if he watched the Crocodile Dundee trilogy before coming here.
Good point. Daniel's 2nd in chips right now.
104.
He's going to turn the heat up on the short stack with a re-raise. In the big blind, George Tatsis, an amateur, but a professional house painter.
Yeah, house painting, Lon, one of the few honest professions left.
And Tatsis makes the call with ace-8 of hearts for 84,000 more. Back to you. The original raiser. And pocket 4s into the muck.
Well, Daniel got rid of the wrong player. He'd be a bigger favorite against Yu's pocket 4s.
Me and George.
Daniel's ace against the ace-8 of hearts. 10-10 king. Negreanu's still good with the pocket pair. And he'll keep the pressure on.
144.
Before it was 104, now it's 144. Well, actually, 8 divides equally into 144. He's got pocket 8s. That's why he's doing that thing, I think.
Oh, it's a tell? So now the amateur up against one of the more accomplished poker pros in the world. Tatsis folds.
You have a 10?
No. Pocket 10. You fold pocket 10s. Jeez. Daniel, you've done it again. You go kings?
Huh? Huh? I played.
Now, he didn't have kings, he had eights, and he's got chips.
Every World Series of Poker main event is an opportunity for history, but tonight brings special significance as a gold bracelet is awarded in the Southern Hemisphere for the very first time. In 2005, Joe Hasham became Australia's poker ambassador. Will Daniel Negreanu emerge from this final table tonight as the new face of Australia's continued poker expansion?
The last time I was as confident and relaxed as Daniel looks, I said I do. When I should have said, eh. But this is the poker table, and Daniel is due. His last bracelet came in 2008, and his absence from the winner's circle has some people whispering, but not me. I'll yell till Phil Hellmuth comes home that Daniel is the same wonderfully gifted player he always was. Plus, he's confident and relaxed. What can go wrong?
Is that Spider-Man on your shirt?
Spider-Man has to go to work.
How much did that cost, that shirt? How much did that shirt cost? I bet it was way too much.
20 bucks.
No, it was probably like $300
US.
or something stupid.
Made in China.
It's got, was that diamonds?
Made in China.
Made in China.
I tried a Superman one. The Superman doesn't know how to play poker. I lost it. Lost the shirt. So I changed it to Spider-Man. So I've proven Spider-Man knows how to play poker. At least better than Superman.
Okay.
Okay. You try Batman next time, okay?
Okay, whatever works for you, buddy.
Wardrobe is key to a successful poker career. That's a chip leader, Benny Spindler, originally from Germany. He'll lay it down. Local player, amateur, Mikhail Hobb, pocket deuces.
I want that shirt, and I want that hair. Plus, he's got a ponytail.
Playing in his home casino, the Crown.
Pocket pair folds? Come on, man, loosen up, be a man.
On the button, that's you with 10-9 offsuit. And he gives it up in the small blind, Russell Thomas. We spent many, many hours with Russell at the main event final table last year.
He used to specialize in healthcare reform. Now he specializes in playing trade deuce.
That's a raise to 50,000. Of course, folded to the small blind. You're almost obligated to raise no matter what. King, Jack of spades for Daniel Martin.
Morgan.
And he raises to put Thomas all in.
Well, that quickly shut down the Russell Thomas trade deuce cabaret.
My God. Lucky I didn't go all in.
While Hobb pats himself on the back, we take a look at some World Series firsts. The main event debuted in 1971, won by Johnny Moss, a 5K buy-in at the time. In 2007, the World Series opened its doors in Europe as then 18-year-old Annette Oberstad won that bracelet. Tonight, history in Australia. 8 players compete for the Asia-Pacific main event bracelet.
Daniel Negreanu, the only player at this table with a bracelet, and he's got 4 of them.
Folded to Daniel in the big blind under the gun. George Tatsis raised with 10-9 of spades.
46?
Okay. Daniel makes the call for 26,000 more. Negreanu already final table the mixed game tourney here in Australia. The flop 10-9 queen. Negreanu flops a queen high straight and an open-ended straight flush draw. Tats has caught bottom 2.
If Daniel could script a flop knowing what his opponent had, it would come out something like this.
Daniel checks it and 96,000 from Tatsis. Look out.
I started playing poker in the late 1940s, Lon. I have never flopped a queen high straight with a redraw to a straight flush.
That's a lot of poker over those years. Daniel want to spring it now or later? Now. Check raise to 256.
No slow play from Daniel. And a good read here. He figures Tatsis's hand is strong enough it can stand a raise.
Norman, I wonder if George thinks his hand is strong enough to re-raise Negreanu.
Call.
That's just a call. Daniel, very comfortable. Deuce of diamonds on the turn.
Yeah, deuce of diamonds on the turn doesn't change anything, anywhere, anytime in the world, ever. And that's good news for Daniel.
Daniel with chips. 475, a healthy bet, but I guess he figures if George called the check raise on the flop, he'll call the turn. George Tatsis.
Doesn't look like he's very encouraged to call this turn.
But he does indeed. Pot of over $1.5 million. 7 of hearts, now a 6-card straight for Daniel. Is that bonus territory down here?
Daniel's just happy it's another blank. And Daniel's loving life here down under.
Negreanu with 950,000, and that gets Tatsis to squirm.
Tatsis getting about 3 to 1 on a call here. but a call here is for about 2/3 of his remaining stack. He's knee-deep, and this would put him in neck-deep.
But Tatsis gets out of the way.
One card for the viewing audience.
Let me guess, a jack of clubs?
How'd you know?
Has to be.
That's the one.
That doesn't mean anything.
How you flushing with the
A
jack?
big hit to Tatsis, and with that pot, Daniel Negreanu is the chip leader down under. The 2013 World Series of Poker Asia Pacific brought to you by ivypoker.com and by the WSOP app. Play the official WSOP game free on your smartphone, available on Android and the App Store. Welcome back to Melbourne. Three-time bracelet winner Antonio Esfandiari was the final table bubble boy. Benny Spindler ended Esfandiari's run. After he busted, we gave Antonio the chance to learn a little something about Australian rules football.
Sorry.
That voice within you that we're going to listen to.
Tony, man, nice to meet you.
Here's a jumper to take home with you.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much, sir. They even spelled it right. Look at that. So can I put this on? Maybe we can do
let's
a
take
little...
it on. We'll have a kick.
Let's have a kick. This is like a joke you guys are playing on me? Really this tight, huh? All right. I'm open.
Just turn around. Turn around.
Don't go soft on me. Are you a favorite to kick it from here into the net right now?
Yeah, I could give you a
I bet you 100 you can. 100 Aussie. I'll give you a chance, double or nothing.
No, you have a turn. You have a turn.
All right, let's go. Sorry, guys.
Just breaking all their bikes. Now, try one on the lead. Run to it and take it. Now turn around and kick it through the net.
That was a lot of cardio.
That was hard hitting. Great. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming along.
Appreciate it. I think I'm booked on Collingwood, and I'm gonna let him off on the $100 he owes me.
Boy, I think Antonio's showing signs of his age there, and the way he moves, it's like he's running barefoot on broken glass.
Winfred Yu re-raised Benny Spindler all in. So action on Spindler with ace-queen against Yu's ace-king.
Pretty much an automatic call here for Spindler, about 10% of his stack.
He does make the call.
I told you I'm not going to re-raise you.
You have ace-king?
No ace-king.
Spindler sees that Yu is ahead.
I'm keeping my promise. If I don't know where I get lucky, we will get lucky enough.
He's in good shape. So far. 3-1.
I have a good feeling.
Yeah. Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, you have a good feeling all tournament.
All right, Winfred Yu at risk. Here's the flop, and he hits a king.
Oh, what a flop. Action. This is what poker's all about. Fun, right, Braza? This is it. This is what fun is about. Okay, put jack on the turn.
Too many spades out there for Yu's liking.
No, just of spades. He doesn't have a spade, right? Uh-oh.
Five of diamonds. Spindler still in want.
Pair up the board now. Well, no spade. I should say no spade. Red. Red better.
Spindler needs a spade to knock out Winfred Yu.
I don't want to influence it.
The river card, the 9 of hearts, and Winfred Yu will double up.
You never do that.
A small hit to Spindler's big stack.
You were thinking 4 of spade. 4 of spade. No, I know. I saw you thinking 4 of spade.
You saw me thinking 4 of
4 of
spade?
spade.
Rinford, I like having you around. It's, it's been a long time since we played poker.
You got to come Macau now. It's non-smoking.
Oh, it's non-smoking?
They make half the casino non-smoking.
If you invite me to Macau, I'll come to Macau. I haven't been yet.
282. Definitely make sure your table is non-smoking.
Thank you.
You doubling up bad news for the other short stacks here. Russell Thomas and Mikhail Hobb.
Yu over 600,000 chips right now. Winfred Yu is an interesting character in the poker world. He's part of the emerging community in Macau, but has ties to the U.S. with a degree from NYU.
Born in Hong Kong, but moved to Toronto with his family when he was 14. He moved to Macau 4 years ago to start a poker business.
So Winfred Yu on the move, no longer the short stack. Daniel Negreanu, the chip leader right now with over 3.2 million. There's a look at Cale Burns, ace-10 offsuit from Geelong, Australia.
Currently taking time off from Deakin University here, where he's studying civil engineering.
I believe they are the Demon Deacons. A raise to 40,000. Negreanu with king, queen offsuit on the button.
Lots of healthy heads of hair at this table. Daniel does not have one of them, so he's got the baseball cap on to hide his problem.
He calls. Tats has folded his small blind. Benny Spindler in the big. Queen 6 off.
We were talking about this earlier for Daniel on the button. No need to get crazy. Just call in position to take a flop.
Spindler known as a very aggressive player, not afraid to use his chips in battle, and there is a re-raise to 150,000. Action now back to Burns.
Spindler trying to squeeze play here with queen 6. Maybe Daniel should think twice about him being on his fantasy team.
Indeed. Burns folds the ace-10. Negreanu now. 110,000 more into the pot. He'll see it. Heads up with Spindler, the 2 big stacks.
I hate king-queen almost as much as ace-queen, but Daniel's in good shape with it.
And here's the flop, and king-queen top 2 for Daniel. Second pair with a bad kicker for Spindler. Spindler checks to Daniel.
What another great flop for Daniel. Plus, again, his opponent gets a piece of it. When you live right, you run right. Negreanu on fire.
204,000.
What's with Daniel? On an earlier hand, he raised 104 pre-flop, made it 144 on the flop. Now he bets 204. He's got a lucky 4 thing going.
And Spindler says, okay, I'll see the turn. Jack of spades on the turn. Spindler now drawing dead. Burns would have hit the nuts.
You know, Benny Spindler might be the 4th Jonas brother.
He's got the hair for it. Spindler checks again.
I believe Daniel Negreanu is going to bet 444,000 here.
Interesting. It'll be just over half the pot.
I don't care about half the pot. It's 444.
Oh, okay. Oh!
Ha! Lonnie was the strongest feeling that has come across me in years.
You are dangerous. All right, now Spindler.
444? 444.
Boy, Tatsis didn't believe Negreanu earlier to Daniel's benefit. Now Spindler doesn't believe him, again to Daniel's benefit.
Now I see what Daniel means by some of his tweets during poker tournaments where they're just handing me chips. There's the call. River card, deuce of diamonds.
The deuce of diamonds on the river lawn doesn't change anything, anywhere, anytime in the world, ever.
Another check from Spindler. Well, Daniel's not going to stop now. 604.
604,000.
And a value bet from Daniel. And the oldest Jonas brother is not happy.
Pause to refresh.
King, queen?
King, queen. That made Daniel blink 37 times. He called it.
2 aces you got?
It's worse.
Worse than aces? Ace, king?
So a clash of the 2 big stacks goes to Daniel Negreanu, and now there's some space between them. The night just keeps getting better for Daniel Negreanu.
King, queen?
Ace, king?
And it keeps getting worse for Benny Spindler. The promenade outside Crown Melbourne, the newest stop on the World Series Tour, a long way from home base in Las Vegas. 8 players left at this championship table. The short stack on the left, Aussie Mikhail Haab, and the chip leader on the right, Las Vegas resident Daniel Negreanu.
Half of this final table, including Haab, lives in Australia. Thomas, the only American here. Spindler is German, but lives in Austria, and Yu lives in Macau.
And 2 Melburnians, locals who play at Crown. King Jack for Yu. Raise to 48,000. Russell Thomas now ace queen offsuit. 24-year-old November 9er from last year re-raises all in
for his final 15 big blinds.
Burns now in the small blind, 5-4 into the muck. Negreanu in the big.
Anyone who holds their cards like Daniel is holding them pre-flop is going to fold. It's a virtual certainty.
Ace-10 in the big blind. Fold waiting to happen, though? Yes, indeed. Back to you, the original raiser, King Jack. Into the muck, so Run Good Russell needs to live up to that nickname a little more to become a bigger factor here.
Busy boy.
Russell Thomas looks to be finally moving in the right direction at this final table after earning a big payday last year in the main event.
When you make the main event final table, it's life-changing money. So obviously I have a big passion for poker, so I felt like it was time to pursue that as a career. I've been able to travel around to a bunch of different countries. I've been to France, Spain, I went to the Bahamas, now Australia twice. That's like, I wouldn't be able to travel that much at all if I was working a real job. So that's probably been the biggest benefit. I've also had so much more free time to do whatever I want, really. I've been playing a lot of poker, which is fun. But things have kind of returned to normal a little bit.
And yeah, when he had a real job, he used to forecast minimum medical loss ratio rebates under the Affordable Care Act. I think he prefers check raising.
Next player out earns nearly $83,000 Aussie. Russell was the chip leader at the end of day 3 of this 5-day event. King Jack of clubs for Cale Burns on the button.
At 24, he's the youngest player at the final table. He's also in the top 10 worldwide when it comes to posture for poker players.
Not true. He says raised 48,000. Negreanu in the small blind. King, Queen of Hearts.
And it looks like Daniel might give King, Queen another whirl.
He really seems to be comfortable at this championship table where he is the table captain, no doubt. He calls. Big blind George Tatsis, 9-8 of clubs. And he comes along.
Time to bluff one. A good one.
You're too good, brother.
I want to bluff one now. This is the one. I'm going to do something funny here.
Your position is okay?
Yeah.
All right, here's the flop. 1 jack for Burns, 2 jacks for Burns. Daniel missed. He checks. Tatsis missed. He checks. Now, Burns with that big flop. Trip jacks bets 58,000.
58,000.
Well, Daniel announced his intention to bluff, and it looks like he's going to follow through.
Daniel with just a call there. Tatsis whiffed on the flop and folds. So heads up, Burns and Negreanu. Burns with a huge advantage. The turn card pairs Negreanu, but he's still the long shot.
Yeah, as lucky as Negreanu has been so far, Lon, that turn card is very unlucky.
That could cost Daniel, and he's already reaching for chips. Leading out this time, 42,000.
42,000 into a pot of 292? That's not a bet. That's more like a convenience surcharge for the turn card.
Well, he just got a call from Burns.
I think Burns is slow playing here, but he keeps looking at Daniel warily.
That pairs the board jacks full for Burns now. Daniel with queens up and second best, reaching for his stack. And that's good news to Burns.
Call.
204,000.
Call.
Oh, we have a jack? Yeah, that wins.
Negreanu figured he was best. Burns wasn't quite so sure about his hand.
Very nice, huh?
And check.
Pass me the loot.
Go like that.
So Burns moves up a notch on the leaderboard after taking some chips from Daniel Negreanu, but Kid Poker remains the man to beat at this first ever World Series of Poker Asia Pacific main event. As cosmopolitan a city as you'll find, Melbourne, Australia, site of the 2013 World Series of Poker APAC main event. Daniel Kid Poker Negreanu hunting for bracelet number 5.
I said you have good accent.
Thank you.
How you talk German?
Thank you.
I lived in Germany, so grew up in Germany.
You speak a lot of languages, huh?
Yeah. Persian, Turkish,
What
Arabic.
language is Braza?
Braza is Australian with accent. Braza! Braza! Australian accent, you know?
I like it.
Hobbs got a young Marlon Brando quality to him.
Hobb under the gun, folded. Winfred Yu with pocket jacks.
No, he's playing pocket jacks. That's a mistake.
Down under might be okay, though. I'm still unsure. A raise to 70,000 over to Daniel Martin, 26 years old from Sydney, with pocket aces. Aces, kings, queens, always lurking with pocket jacks in play.
Martin has a double degree in science and business from the University of Technology, Sydney.
I believe they are the Demon Deacons.
Good for you.
A call for 70,000. Burns gets out of the way on the button. Daniel Negreanu with a suited king-jack.
Martin just called with the aces, huh?
Did indeed.
He plays slow and he slow plays.
You're right about both counts. Daniel, big chip leader, calls.
That's another mistake. And I don't know why Daniel didn't raise it to 204.
Spindler gets out of the way, so three players will see this flop. You with the jacks, Martin with the aces, big favorite, and Daniel Negreanu with king-jack suited. Here's the flop now. King 6 tray rainbow aces, still best for Martin.
You know, Martin's slow play is working to perfection on the flop. Top pair for Negreanu, and you still might think he's best with pocket jacks.
He is going to test the waters, 70,000. Now to Martin with the aces. Martin just called pre-flop, 70,000 from you, and he does the same thing here.
That's a patient ex-scientist. He's playing aces like they're deuces. And Daniel's got to love this board.
But top pair is no good right now. Negreanu is going to teach him how to play the game. A raise to 170,000.
And Winfred, you can't like it much anymore.
Yep. And he folds the jacks 140K too late.
Well, Daniel Martin's pretty much got what he wants here, and now it's time to announce himself with a re-raise.
Boy, you have aces and a king comes, and your opponent has a king, exactly what you want, but just a call. Another king now on the turn, trips for Negreanu.
Oh, goodness. Martin has slow played his hand into quicksand.
He now checks. Daniel checks. River card. Another 6. Negreanu with kings full now.
That was a great check from Daniel on the turn. It might induce a bet from Martin here.
Martin with aces and kings.
Pretty much a dream day for Negreanu so far. His king-jack here ends up crushing pocket aces.
Martin checked it to Daniel, so now Daniel putting some chips together. 280,000.
And I gotta believe that's 280,000. Daniel Martin is gonna put into the pot.
Martin can't resist, and he sees the full boat.
Martin got very unlucky there on the turn.
Brother, you get beautiful cards, man.
Yeah, I know. Really pretty cards.
And you hit.
I hit, too. That's good. Yeah.
Daniel Negreanu pulls further ahead. Daniel Martin remains in second place, just shy of $2 million, despite losing a fifth of his stack to that man.
Russell Run Good Thomas. How's your life, buddy?
It's okay.
Winning tournaments online. Getting married?
Nope.
No, ever?
Yeah.
You want kids and all that? How many you want?
Probably 2.
2's a good number. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna have 2.
You gonna get married?
Huh?
When
Maybe.
You get married?
Maybe. When am I getting married?
Yeah.
I don't know. Soon. Maybe. Maybe not.
How old are you?
38.
38.
It's about time, right? I was married once. She's
Oh, you
cool.
were?
Yeah, she's cool. We had a great divorce. It was the best. She came home. It's like, do you want to get divorced? She said, yeah. I said, so do I. We hugged, made popcorn, watched a movie, and went to bed. No lawyers, nothing. Simple. Good girl. She's a good woman.
Yeah, I divorced the same woman, and we're still in court.
Ace-jack for George Tatsis. And a raise to 70,000.
Yeah. Everything was split even.
Nothing is ever split even.
Except my money.
And I'm surprised Daniel wants 2 kids, not 4.
Okay.
Folded to Winfred Yu in the small blind.
You married up.
Winfred now the second short stack at the table, folds. And now Russell Thomas in the big blind. Ace-10. Russell looking to make something happen with that short stack. He says all in for 380,000.
13 big blinds for Russell Thomas.
It's another 310,000 to call.
And that's what it is to George Tatsis now with ace-jack.
Call.
He makes the call, and he will dominate Russell Thomas.
Ace-10, ace-jack.
Tatsis calls for about 30% of his stack.
Why'd you have to tell me?
I thought that was a flop then.
You know, Daniel's the cooler. He calls Russell Thomas run good, and the first hand after he runs bad.
Tens are in this stack.
So Russell Thomas, a November 9er from 2012, 4th place finisher, trying to extend his run here. The flop 9, queen 8, each with a straight draw.
Swap outs. Spades. Oh yeah, we swapped outs now, so that's pretty good.
Well, we'll see if Russell Thomas has any run good left in him.
Like 17% equity now.
Turn card now with Russell Thomas at risk. The deuce of diamonds.
The deuce of diamonds ought to be banned post-flop. Thomas needs a jack.
River card, the tray of hearts, ace-jack is best, and Russell Thomas is out in 8th place, knocked out by George Tatsis.
Thomas never really got anything going except a conversation on marriage, but another great main event showing.
Almost $83,000, Aussie dollars, that is. Russell's run good ends in 8th place here in Melbourne. We're 7-handed right after the break. Up at 10 p.m. Eastern, the conclusion of the World Series of Poker Asia Pacific main event final table. Will Daniel Negreanu be in the running to capture his elusive 5th bracelet?
And this is what poker's all about.
Good look at the Yarra River just outside Crown Melbourne just before the break. The river couldn't save Russell Thomas. He's out in 8th. Winfred Hughes all in for his last $290,000. Action on Daniel Negreanu.
You might have like ace small, right? It's possible. Oh, wait a minute. How could I fold this hand? I just remembered. I got 4s. Like 4s are so lucky. How could I fold?
I wouldn't take you to be the superstitious type.
Well, 4s are just special.
It's the death, but it could be the death.
Not death for him.
Well, add up to 8.
4s are the death for you.
He's been running decent.
Good luck.
Well, 4s are lucky, and it wasn't much more than 5% of Daniel's stack to call there.
Automatic call, no matter how much the price. You got 290.
Winfred Hughes at risk once again. Ace-8 against the 4s, and Negreanu hits a set.
Duh. Was there ever a doubt?
Hey, there's some runs.
Daniel's lucky 4s snare Spider-Man.
Backdoor straights.
So Winfred Hughes in a deep hole.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, that deuce changes things.
Yeah, here comes a 5-ball.
Here comes the 5.
5-ball outs.
Only a 5 for a wheel saves Winfred Hughes.
And the river card is the 5!
Told you don't play 4s.
I know, right?
Winfred Hughes' best position is all in, Lon. He's 2 for 2.
Doubling through the chip leader, back over 600,000.
With what?
What would you call a 5? Didn't you say?
I didn't.
Here comes
Yeah,
a 5.
he did.
We make a deal. You said he's first, I'm second.
Negreanu with a small hit to his stack, still the overwhelming chip leader at this championship table. Daniel really has nothing to worry about after that loss for the moment. Front and center on Daniel's mind, recapturing some of the glory from 2004 World Series Player of the Year, along with many other accolades.
He's run rough at the World Series in Las Vegas the last couple of years, but he cashed 3 times at World Series Europe in the fall, and he thinks the mojo is back.
Well, you just shoved again, this time with jacks. Action on Benny Spindler with 10s, and he makes the call.
You has become an all-in savant. Spindler seems frustrated. Calling all-ins pre-flop, not his thing. He's a 6-bet bluff type of guy.
So you trying to make the pocket jacks work against the 2 10s of Benny Spindler. And here is the flop, and there's a jack in the window. A set for you to put the hammer down.
You'd have him drawn dead.
Yeah, Spindler's going to need runner to knock off you now.
Turn card is the 8 of clubs, and that ends it, and you doubles up again.
You've got the all-in trick down, but one blown save opportunity, and you're out of here.
So Winfred Hughes now approaching 1.3 million. Benny Spindler, the chip leader to start the final table, falls to 6th after that defeat.
Spindler feels shackled of late.
Hughes moves into 5th place as he continues to live out his poker dreams here in Australia.
Before I was back into Macau and start the poker business, I've always been, trying to go into playing the tournament, the circuit, cash game, over the place. And everybody's dream to play on the WSOP final table. And I didn't get a chance to do it in Vegas, and finally got a chance to do it here, and I'm pretty happy.
He cashed once at the World Series in Las Vegas in 2010, 266 in a no-limit event. This is a lot sweeter.
Action on Daniel, chip leader, 9-5 into the muck. Tatsis folds to Benny Spindler with pocket 10s once again. The former chip leader now in need of a double-up.
He won the 2011 EPT main event in London, the 2012 EPT high roller event in San Remo. He is armed and dangerous.
A raise to 60,000. That's a min raise.
Hobbs wondering why he put so much mousse in his hair to keep getting 8 tray.
No all-in from Winfred Yu here.
405 entrants began this, the first World Series main event in Australia.
Folded around to the big blind. Cale Burns, 7-6 of hearts. Spindler with just a min raise is going to make it cheap if Burns wants to come in, and he does.
It's cheap, but it's hard to find a good bargain out there these days.
Heads up now. And here it is, the flop, and there is a set for Spindler, while Burns flops a gut shot.
Now, that's a huge flop for Spindler, but he's not going to win much here because Burns has got virtually nothing.
Burns with 70,000.
Well, that's 70,000 into the pot Spindler didn't expect. That is a bonus.
With his set of 10s now, Benny Spindler. Cool. Where's the aggression? Just a call.
Everybody slow plays here.
Ace of diamonds.
Okay, Mr. Posture over there with 7 high, no diamond, and a gut shot to the low end of the straight. I wouldn't just fold my cards, I'd burn them.
Okay. It looks like Burns is going to take another stab at it. 125,000.
This Burns fella has got some moxie.
Spindler is not going anywhere. Despite the 3 diamonds, the straight possibilities out there, there's a call. Queen of diamonds, that's a fun card. 4 diamonds on the board.
Well, with 7-6 in his hand, Burns is playing the board, but I don't think he's stopping now. There's nothing like a triple-barrel bluff to get the pulse going.
Get barrel 3 ready, 205,000.
Boy, Spindler does not like that river card.
And the way things are going, he just expects them to get worse, maybe.
Oh, how about that big gulp? I don't know if Spindler saw that. Burns is just playing the board, and that's a lovely looking board.
Wow, a big fold by Spindler, a big bluff. Successful for Cale Burns.
A great bluff, and he shows it.
Make it interesting.
It's always fun to show a bluff.
I knew you didn't have it.
Spindler loses another chunk of armor.
Oh, thanks. We're almost done.
That helps you raid, doesn't it? Huh? That would help you raid.
Oh, I knew you didn't have it anyway.
Cale Burns with the bluff of the final table so far, and it came with a big gulp on the side. Burns moves into 3rd place. Tonight's bracelet moments are presented by PokerListings.com. The first ever World Series bracelet given in the Southern Hemisphere went to American Brian Pacholi, who took down the 1K accumulator event from a final table that featured 2010 main event champion Jonathan Duhamel.
I've dedicated pretty much my entire life to this game, and it feels really good to finally get the job done.
Event number 2 saw fellow American Jim Colopy emerge victorious in the $1,500 PLO tournament to earn nearly 70,000 Aussie bucks.
Negreanu's last bracelet came in 2008. Many of his big-name buddies have won since then, but not Kid Poker.
Mikael Haab on his feet, even down under. That means all in. His pocket tens looking to hold off the run good of Winfred Yu and an ace-queen of hearts.
Haab, a real estate businessman, has just grinded down to 5 big blinds. Not a recipe for success.
All right, here's the flop. And there's an ace for Winfred Yu to put Haab on the exit coaster.
The last thing you want to do at this table is flip with Winfred Yu. He specializes in all-in situations.
Turn card, another deuce, no help to Haab.
Haab looking for a 2-outer. He needs a 10 or he's gone.
The river card is a 6. And Mikael Haab out in 7th place, and the runaway semi-truck that is Winfred Yu rolls on.
Good game, Mikael.
Haab's first World Series cash is a final table. Well done.
You did the best you could. Good job. No chips, you did the best you could.
Almost $108,000 for Mikael Haab. FYI, the Aussie and U.S. dollars about equivalent. Winfred Yu over 1.2 million chips now.
Spider-Man is very fleet of foot at this final table. Spindler down to under 15 big blinds.
And everyone bumped up on the pay ladder thanks to Winfred Yu's knockout of Haab. So far, this final table has been owned by Daniel Negreanu, while Benny Spindler's crash and burn continues in slow motion. And he says all in with ace-10 suited.
We haven't seen the real Benny Spindler at this final table. No traction, one bad hand against Daniel, just spinning his wheels.
Martin in the small blind folds. Now Cale Burns in the big with King Jack.
Whoa. How much is it?
535 total.
This would be an iffy call. It's for more than a quarter of his stack.
But he does call. And Benny Spindler ahead and all in.
Spindler needs a double up, but he's just a 3-2 favorite here.
13 big blinds cut off. His would be wider than most, I imagine.
What? 30 big blinds?
13.
13?
Well.
All right, here's the flop. And there's a king in the window for Burns to take the lead.
Just a bad day turned worse for Benny Spindler.
So king's up for Burns. Spindler looking for something, and that's no help. He's almost out of chances.
Benny Spindler needs an ace, and an ace only, or he is whamboozled.
The river card is our first Aussie whamboozling. Benny Spindler, the chip leader to start the final table, out in 6th.
It's been a pleasure, Benny. Hold on.
You ran like
Give me some love, boys. Come on.
Burns celebrates while dark thoughts race through the mind of Benny Spindler. The chip leader at the start got nothing going right, and he flames out in 6th place. The 2013 World Series of Poker Asia Pacific, brought to you by ivypoker.com and by Caesars Casino on Facebook. What happens in Vegas now happens anywhere you want. Real casino action, totally free. The gas brigade's in full force outside Crown Melbourne. They are the largest fireballs in the world and run nightly along the Yarra River.
All right, let's do this. Let's gamble. Everybody ready to 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet? I just had some chamomile. Woo! Want to do it? Let's do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-bet. Booyah!
Down to our final 5 players for this Southern Hemisphere World Series main event bracelet.
Yeah, let's screw that up.
Tatsis and you fold.
Here comes Mr. Martin.
I hosted a poker show with Negreanu. I feel like I am right now.
Pass.
Commentate and play, Drew.
Huh?
You can commentate and play.
Yeah, why not? Every time he does that, I think he's going to fold. Like so far ahead, and then, huh? Yeah. Good thing I don't go like this.
Actually, if Daniel ever decides to commentate full-time, I'm out of a job.
Burns.
What is that, 90? 90,000. All right, chances are I'm going to press the call button, but let's see.
He will not announce his hand. I will. Queen 10 of clubs.
Pressing the call button. It's my favorite button. If they took that away, like those raise or fold tournaments, I'm drawing completely dead. Calling is fun. Get to see the flop. You never know what comes.
Bottom pair for Burns, open-ended for Daniel Negreanu.
I don't know how Burns maintains his posture through such long poker sessions.
Burns first to act.
That's brave. It's brave. It's a very meaty board.
95,000.
A lot of stuff happening over there. A lot of meat.
95,000.
A lot of meat on this bone right here. Lots of stuff happening.
That's a call.
See?
Another 9, 2 pair for Burns now.
The microphone has turned Burns' T-shirt into a V-neck.
It's a better look for him, I think. A glance at Daniel, 135,000.
He's stealing a lot of glances at Daniel.
Daniel is a little quieter now. A raise to 335.
Well, he announces a bluff. And if you folks at home are looking for a way to improve, try this. Pretend you have a hand that beats your opponent and play it that way.
It's all in your mind. And right now, Negreanu is inside Burns' mind. And he calls with the best hand.
A call and a glance from Burns. A call and a glance led to my second marriage.
The river card now is a king. King's up for Burns, but Negreanu rivers a straight.
All day, Daniel Negreanu has turned Jack 8, Queen 10, King Jack, King Queen into monsters.
And a check from Burns this time.
If Russell Thomas was run good, Daniel Negreanu is run better.
Daniel has been working very hard the last year on his bet sizing. There's 540,000, about half the pot.
540,000.
I'm gonna need a minute on this one.
Well, Burns has played the hand well. He let out with the best hand on the flop. He sniffed out the bluff on the turn. Now can he fold to the best hand on the river?
It would cost him about half of his remaining chip stack. Burns started this hand 4th out of 5 on the leaderboard. And he gives up the 2 pair.
What a day, though, for Daniel Negreanu.
Oh my God.
Another big pot for Negreanu, moving him further up the leaderboard, over 5.3 million for Kid Poker. Winfred Yu in a familiar spot as the short stack.
You've got to like Kid Poker's chances now for a long overdue Fitz bracelet. Still, I would steer clear of Winfred Yu.
Daniel Negreanu right where he wants to be, on top of the chip count and poised to capture gold in Melbourne. The World Series of Poker took off from down under in a big way.
What language is Braza?
Braza is Australian with accent.
Braza!
Braza!
Russell Run Good Thomas. How's your life, buddy?
Russell Thomas, the first player eliminated.
Unlucky, brother. Well, is that Spider-Man on your shirt?
Spider-Man has to go to work.
Spider-Man has been sticky.
You try Batman next time, okay?
Okay.
But it's Daniel Negreanu with the inside track to bracelet number 5.
Oh! Oh! Everybody ready to 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet? Booyah!
Give me some love, boys. Come on.
For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.